Hello everyone. I thought we'd have a little cup of tea because it's been a couple of weeks, I think. Maybe it's even been a bit longer, but I just thought it's 11 o'clock, I'm gonna have my cup of tea. And whilst I don't think I've got time to record, a proper sit down saying some useful things type video, I at least have the time to sit down and share my cup of tea with everyone. And yeah, just talk about some stuff. There's some things that I think we need to have a chat about on here. Some things that I have realised, some thoughts in my brain that keep buzzing around everywhere. And yeah, what better way to do it than to just share my angst with all of you lovely people. So thank you for stopping by, I should say, because that was not really an intro to the video, was it at all? So I'm Mel, and I currently make videos sort of about making money online and the process of that, and whether I'm having any degree of success with it or not. And if that sounds interesting to you, then by all means subscribe. What you won't get is a beautifully professional set of videos with a gorgeous lighting and a lovely backdrop and all of those things. What you're going to get is me just like slumming it around my home, having a chat with you, showing you some stuff and kind of sharing my progress and everything. So, let's be realistic here about what the channel is like. And if you still want to stick around, then you are so welcome. I promise you, you are so welcome. And in fact, this video has come about because of that sort of like very almost like basic level sense that that is not a very good way of describing what I mean. I can't think how to describe it. Like the core, that's it, the core, that's what I mean. The core of what I'm doing is showing up and making some videos for, there's probably about 150, 200 of you who turn up to pretty much all the videos, and certainly who turn up for all the vlogs because you're happy to just sit and have like a chit chat with me. And so every time I sit there and I think, which I have been thinking lately, oh, I can't make like that video on my list because I've still got to do that thing, or I've still got to get that thing or buy that thing, or I haven't quite got the time to sit down and screen record that thing to make that video. And so I can kind of push all of those videos away, but then think to myself, well, I can sit and have a chat with my couple of hundred people. I can make a video for them because this is fine. This is enough for them. They're not expecting me to come up with all of these incredible professional videos and all of this sage advice that's going to change their world, their perspective on things, their lives, their business, their income, or anything like that. So that's why I'm here. I just thought, yeah, I'm making this video for you guys, as I often do. I'm just showing up for you. So yes, things to talk about. I think we need to talk about YouTube. So we'll do that soon. What other things are there to catch you up on? Really just that my other half's recovery is going well, and he's on a phased return back to work. So I think he's in 2 days a week this week, and then I'm assuming it will be 3 days next week. I'm not entirely sure because it changes sometimes. And I think it's one thing and then it changes to something else. But anyway, this week it's 2 days a week. And then it should go up to 3 days a week. And then I think it sort of stops at 3 days a week because I think they only have to be in for 60% of the time, something along those lines. But anyway, it's kind of great because it means that I have the run of the house. And I'm just like, as soon as he's out the door in the morning, it's like running around the house. I can film in this room today, I can go up there and get this thing, and I can do my eBay up there, and I can do my other bits down here, and it's lovely. It's like being given the keys to the castle and I run around, do whatever I please. I mean, I've just been in the kitchen and I've had to re-record the intro, so I've got a bit of hair that's sticking to my lip balm. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so I ran into the kitchen, I didn't run into my kitchen. I went into the kitchen quite fast to re-record the intro of a video that's, oh my God, that bit of hair, to start a video that's on my personal gardening channel. Because for some reason it just hadn't come out properly, it hadn't recorded properly. So I kind of went back in and re-recorded that, ready to add that to the rest of the footage. And you know, I've been upstairs doing my eBay, I've plonked myself down here to do this bit of recording, and I just love it. I just love that flexibility of not having to worry about whether someone else is in a Zoom meeting in one room or the other, and you know, like trying not to make too much noise, trying not to walk, you know, behind them so that you're in shot, and trying not to make the other person feel self-conscious about like what they're saying and doing, because we have like a work persona, don't we? And I don't want to make my other half feel uncomfortable because I'm like nearby, and I sometimes feel uncomfortable filming in front of him. I like to be in a room with the door shut and just have that bit of privacy, and again, just stops you from feeling so self-conscious. So I am very much enjoying having the house to myself already today. And I think I've got the same thing again on Thursday, which will be just fantastic. It'll be a beautiful thing. So that's lovely. That's really good. I like that. So yeah, and on that note, it has been quite tricky, like fitting in my work sort of in and around his work and where he is for certain things, and like when he needs the room and when he doesn't. When I say the room, I mean like the junk room come office upstairs, and yeah, and kind of all of that stuff. There's just a lot of, I almost feel like, and I'm not speaking out of turn here because these are conversations that I've had with him, I feel like I'm squeezing my business, like I'm the one that's having to be the most flexible, and I'm trying to build my income streams and build my business in tiny little gaps and pockets, and honestly to the point where one day I had to package some of my eBay stuff up on a tiny little, like almost like 3 foot square area on the floor in the office upstairs, because there had just been so much toing and froing, and I have put my foot down. I've put my foot down. My shop is upstairs in that room, so whenever I need to dispatch, photograph, do anything to do with my shop, I get priority, and that is my space. Put my foot down. Because, you know, just because I think this is a general thing that you get with being self-employed, is that other people just think that you can be really flexible. And there is flexibility, but only up to a point, because you do actually need to do your work. And the way that I was thinking about it, and I did sort of explain it in this way, is that if I was a self-employed carpenter, you wouldn't be coming into my workshop and setting up your kind of office in there. And I know it's not the exact same thing, but you'd respect that person's, like all of their wood was in there, all of their tools was in there. Like everything they need to do their job is in that space. So even if that space kind of suited you, you wouldn't go in there and use it just whenever you felt like you needed to, because actually that's where that person's stuff is. So yeah, so there's been some conversations, and there has been some firm boundaries put up around certain things, and I think it's going to be something that is negotiated further once we get back to that 3 days and can actually organise things properly. Because the other thing that I was thinking as well is that, so we've obviously prioritised his work for the most part because it earns the most money, but there is a ceiling on his earnings, and there is no ceiling on mine. If I can input more into my businesses, then my income can grow exponentially. Like it doesn't have to stop at any point, depending on what I choose to do moving forward. But it won't do that unless proper focused time and space is carved out for it. So I think I made my arguments well. I think I made my arguments well. So there's been some progress on that. But I'm still enjoying running around on the days where I have the house to myself because it's just lovely. Right, I need to have some of this tea because it's cooled down now. Oh, I do love a cup of tea. I've only got into drinking tea over the last probably 4 or 5 years. Honestly, I think I got to the age of 38 and I just could not stand just hot drinks apart from hot chocolate, and always hated tea and coffee in particular. Still hate coffee, still can't drink coffee. Can't drink coffee because it really upsets my tummy and I just feel ill after I've drank coffee. And almost as bad with caffeinated tea. So I have to drink decaf tea now and then I feel okay and then it feels good. And then what I've also done is I've switched back to herbal teas in the afternoon, which I don't know, it's anecdotal, isn't it? I don't know how like true it is, but I feel better having, you know, my kind of proper tea with milk in the morning and then the herbal tea in the afternoon. Oh, and I've also switched up or changed what I have for breakfast as well. So I hate breakfast. It's just the most unappealing meal of the day. I can't stand it. I'm also a very savoury person rather than sweet person. So I read something somewhere, can't think where, probably an article somewhere, BBC website, possibly in a newspaper, don't know. Read an article talking about how in order to sort of have energy and things in the mornings, because I have felt very lacking in energy for quite a long time. Some of it's been to do with not sleeping particularly well, but some of it is just that I don't really eat well in the mornings. So now I'm still having breakfast quite late just because I just don't feel hungry when I get up. And I don't feel like I can face food. I kind of like to give my body the chance to wake up and then I'm just like, oh, right, now I'll have some food. So I probably tend to eat breakfast after 9 o'clock in the morning. And I've started making sure that I have some protein in my breakfast, which I never used to bother about before. I kind of almost like forced down a couple of slices of toast because I don't know if that's what my other half was having or that's all that we sort of had out. Might put a bit of peanut butter on there sometimes, but mainly just like, you know, tea and toast in the morning. And it just was not enough. I would end up feeling quite hungry like well before lunch, sometimes like within an hour, and just lacking in energy and yeah, feeling really rubbish. So now I make sure that I have either cheese or eggs or maybe bacon, like some meat, or some beans. I like cannelloni beans and kidney beans and things. So I try and make sure I have some sort of protein in my breakfast. So I'll still have, you know, I don't, to my knowledge, have any like allergies or like anything that my body can't tolerate food wise, really, that I've come across. And, you know, I'm still going to have a carbohydrate with my meals. So I might still have the bread, but I'm making sure that I have some protein with it. So this morning I had cheese and bacon on toast. It was so good. It was so good. And it's 11 o'clock now and I'm just having my cup of tea and I don't feel any urge to have, you know, like a couple of biscuits with it or a snack, or not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just the reasons why I was doing that was because I was just feeling like ravenous and like really sluggish. And that's why I was having those things, not because, oh, I quite fancy a biscuit or I quite fancy, or, you know, I'm a little bit peckish, so I'll have whatever. It was because I wasn't eating a good enough breakfast. So I have made that change. And I'm not always that good at doing that every day, but I'm trying to do that a lot more, and I definitely feel better on the days where I have the protein as part of the breakfast. So yeah. Goodness me, we've rambled for 15 minutes and I haven't even got onto YouTube yet. Right, so let's have our chat about YouTube. Let me get a little bit, I feel like changing position. I haven't even, look, the mess. I'm not even gonna bother. We'll just sit with the messy throws behind me and yeah, we'll just deal with it. That's fine. So, yeah, I've got to have my cup of tea back. Yeah, so YouTube. I suppose the first sort of big thing to say is that I'm not going to be able to put videos out particularly regularly or frequently at the moment, because I have a lot of work to catch up on from, you know, my partner being ill and all the sort of, when I say disruption, I don't mean that in a negative, I resent it kind of way, but just the disruption to like getting work done. I've also taken time out to spend some time with my mum recently, and there's just been quite a lot of like visiting people, catching up with people that we didn't really get to see over Christmas and things like that. So, and every time I take time out of work to go and do that, it's just like, it's not like I get paid holiday or anything, is it? So I have so much stuff. I'm nowhere near where I thought I would be or could have been if I had that time to work. So I've got some catching up to do. And also, I can't really make videos about anything if I'm not getting anything done. Like, there is no content if I'm not working and making progress and doing things towards my different income streams. Then I've got nothing to talk about and nothing to show people, and certainly haven't got anything that I can, you know, even remotely teach people about something, because I haven't done the thing, or I haven't done the thing enough to work out if the way that I'm doing the thing is actually working or not. And the last thing I want to do is sort of come on and just like, yeah, just be trying to show you something, but I don't really have the evidence to back up that it works. I'm thinking of things like, you know, like how to do something on Amazon KDP. Well, if I haven't put it into practice and like gathered some results and things, then I can't really like show people how I do it, because I don't know if how I do it is right yet. I don't know if that explains it well enough or not, but that's how I feel about it. And so it just means, I think at the moment there's just going to be the odd vlog like this from time to time, and it might just be like this, where it is just to sit down and a chat, or it might be a little bit of following me around for the day or what have you. So I think they are relatively secure. I think I can, you know, I can find the time and have enough to say to kind of and do to make a couple of those a month, probably at the most. I think I can probably get like a KDP income report out, and then possibly the goals and things for Q2. I can do that, but then there's, you know, there's other things that I want to do, like the scrapbook Q&A and something else as well, and I can't really do them until I've got a couple of other things sorted out. It's so difficult to explain this. But yeah, so, and I just thought, well, that's the reality of the situation. And yes, the channel, you know, it's monetized and I get a little bit, but it's pennies. It's like, it's not very much at all. I think the last video I put out, it made like £5 or something, and it's not, I mean, what am I to make that a significant amount of money? I've got to like put videos out regularly and you know, try and grow my subscribers, try and, you know, get the views and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm just not in the right mindset to do that at the moment. And I just don't want to. I want to just come on here and have a chat with, you know, some of you. And that's really it at the moment. I'm not ready to kind of like really push YouTube or anything. And there's also some technical things that need to change with the channel as well, because I need to make a name change, because what was it? Oh yeah, when people are searching for allotment garden stuff, they're being shown videos from this channel, And then presumably when some people are searching for business stuff, they're being shown my allotment videos on the other channel. And it's because they've both got Sparrow's End in the name. And so the personal channel is Sparrow's End Homestead. And I love that. And the whole sort of like old English charm of that name really, really suits that channel. Whereas the Sparrow's End bit just doesn't suit a business and money channel, and it doesn't feel right anymore, and I don't want that to be my name on this channel anymore. So I will be changing the name of this channel, and I also want to have a little think about just some stuff like style of thumbnails. What am I happy with? What do I prefer? What feels like a good fit for me? Because I want it to be, I'm not interested in like wild amounts of growth. Like I said, I'd love it one day to be bringing in about £100 a month, and with me making videos that I really enjoy and that hopefully, you know, some people enjoy. And so, you know, I want to put out thumbnails that I like the style of, and I've experimented. If you look back through the videos that I've put out like over the last year, I suppose, mainly over the last sort of 4 or 5 months, you can see I've experimented a little bit, I've changed some things, I've tried to sort of see what kind of look or style I like. And I think I'm coming down on something that is a little bit more pared back in terms of colour. I still want to use colour, but not such intense, vibrant colours as I was using and that I used to use when it was the eBay channel. I'm thinking maybe something a little bit more, I don't know. I need to really think about it, not overthink it, but I just need to think about what sort of direction I want the styling of the channel to go in. So I can kind of work on all of that slowly in the background. I can pop a few vlogs out, a few little like goals videos and bits and pieces here and there. And then when I've actually spent time getting some work done, I can come back and talk to people. I can make videos about, you know, how I made £400 a month on Amazon KDP, and I can do all of that. But at the moment, because I'm not doing that, I've got nothing to make the videos about, those sorts of videos about. So I think that was a really long-winded of sort of explaining where I am with it, and actually realising, now I've said it out loud, like I'm okay with that. Like I'm absolutely okay with that. You know, the channel's been monetized, which was a fantastic kind of achievement. You know, the £5 or so that I get for the videos at the moment, that's a lovely little bonus. And actually, that's really interesting. So it's not that interesting, but one of the videos that I've got in mind, just for a vlog, like not like a proper video or whatever, not a teaching anyone anything video. One of my ideas, one of the things that I'm going to do is like a little makeover of my desk in that office. I really want to start tidying it up, sorting through all the stuff in there, etc., all of that. And I thought, well, where I can start will be with my desk. I got my buy me a coffee money through, which was about just over £25 in the end, from just some gorgeous, generous people who bought me a coffee. And I thought, I'm not going to spend it on tea, because my things are buy me a tea, really. I thought I'm going to spend it on this desk makeover, because that's what's going to make me feel better at the moment. That's what I need right now. So I did buy a packet of seeds for the garden, because I didn't want to ignore the fact that some of the money came from the homestead channel. And actually what I think I will do is I'll set up 2 separate buy me a coffee accounts or something, so that there's one for each channel. And then I've bought some just lovely little bits, not expensive, but just some lovely little bits and pieces to revamp my desk. And there's 2 more things that I want to get that the £25 didn't cover. Like not particularly expensive things. I think they will probably come to, I don't know, I looked up the price of one thing, I don't know, maybe somewhere between £20 to £40. And actually I can make that, so when my like little £5 per video when that builds up, and I finally get a payout, which probably won't be until it gets to about 60 or 70 quid. But when I get that payout, I can buy those 2 final things for the desk, and then I can do the little desk makeover video. And it's okay to wait. It's okay to wait. I'm not gonna, borrow from myself or go into any kind of debt to go and buy a couple of things just to make a desk makeover video. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna wait. I'm not going to try and, grow the channel until I feel like I've got enough to talk about, that I'm doing enough things, until I've got stuff to talk about and things to do, because I can't make every video this. I'm happy to do this sometimes, is to just sit down and have a little chat with you, with those of you that are happy to have these videos, but this can't be every video. Because that's not what I want the channel to be. I don't want it to be just this. I don't want it to be just the sort of teaching videos. I want there to be a really nice little mixture of those different things. Oh, and that's the other thing that I need to do as well, is I think because I'm talking about so many different topics, I think the algorithm's getting a little bit confused about what the video is about, because it still keeps trying to show me to people looking for reselling channels, and it hasn't got the hang of the pivoting away from that yet. So I'm going to have to make a conscious effort to try not to reference good old eBay. Try not to reference it and talk about it anymore really in the videos, because that's the thing I definitely want to drop from the channel kind of completely, really. Yeah, I just need to make sure that it's getting the gist, that it's work from home lifestyle, it's digital products, not physical products. Yeah, but there's time for all of that. I'm not worrying. Yeah, so what am I going to be concentrating on between now and the next time you see me? Obviously, the reselling stuff just continues as standard. There's not really anything new there at all. Oh no, there is something, but it's not really relevant yet. I'll talk about that maybe next time. Yeah, so that all carries on as normal. The thing that I'm trying to focus on is I'm getting closer to getting KDP up to that £100 a month. So I really want to concentrate on that and getting that sorted. Stuff for the exams will start coming up in a couple of months' time. So I kind of want to get prepared and ready for that. It's going to be a bit of a KDP focus coming up for the next few months, just to try and get that where I want it. And then when I've done that, and maybe when I've seen some progress and some success there, I can come back and I can make videos about it. There we are. Anyway, I feel like I have just bent your ear for about half an hour about a load of rubbish. So I'm going to finish my tea. I'm going to go back to work. If you have popped along just to listen to me have my chit chat, then thank you so much. It's very kind and it's lovely to have you here. And I will see you again maybe in a couple of weeks for another video.